The second element of leadership that works is leadership that has got vision. It is a very sad moment in my life whenever I meet someone that has stopped dreaming. And I know there are many reasons why we can stop dreaming. You know, life's tough. M. Scott Peck has written the book, The Road Less Traveled. His opening line in the book is the following: life is tough. Life is tough. And for some, I know the toughness of the life that you live is more than mine. But it is tailor-fit for you. It's right for you. And mine is right for me. Whatever I have to endure can build me. Whatever you have to endure can build you. But life is not easy. And often we go to places where we've got many reasons why we don't dream anymore. I want to encourage you today to start to dream again. Some of you have looked back on your life and you've connected with that young man or woman that you've been. And you thought, where are those dreams? Because none of them came to fruition. None of them came to life. For you, I want to say, get in touch with that young man or young woman and pick up those dreams. Because your life needs a vision. If you have no vision, you cannot lead. And vision, fortunately or unfortunately, starts with you as an individual starting to dream about the potential you have to become everything that you are born to be. Leadership that works has vision. When we talk about vision, the first question is, where are you going? Not how fast are you going. Some people can go fast. And it seems to us, looking from the outside in, that they are the achievers. They are the guys that move and shake. They do what needs to be done. And that might be true. But for you and I having this moment just to think about leadership, we've pressed the pause button, thinking, listening to words that help us to understand where we're at in terms of our leadership. Let me tell you what's important is to determine where are we going, not how fast. Fast comes after where. I've often sat with people, they tell me their life story, and everyone's got a life story. You've got a life story. And most probably it's a beautiful story. It might not be the same as another one's story, but your life story is beautiful. And they would tell their life story. One of the statements I would make is, if you do not change direction, you will end up where you're going. And it might be a person I'm sitting with that's abusing drugs or alcohol, or a person that's got serious things that he has to deal with in his life. And I ask him, if you think about where you're going with this kind of life, is where it's going to end where you would like to end? Because if you do not change direction, you will end up where you're going. And if you think about your life, in some aspects, if I think about my life, I'm heading for places where I do not want to end. But we've got a moment here. We've pressed the pause button. We can think about those things and say, listen, that I don't want to continue with. I want to stop it. It might be as simple as not taking responsibility for certain things that you have to take responsibility for. You can stop that. Sounds hard and difficult, and maybe you've tried, but I can assure you, you can stop that. You can redirect. You can change direction. Because without vision, people perish. You're going to lead people. And the people that you lead are going to end up where you're going, because you're the leader. The whole concept of perish. A little boy on Sunday, his parents came to visit us, and the little boy picked up one of my boys' ketties. The rubber of that ketty is brittle, and when I touched it, it broke. And that is a good description of perish. It perished. It's of no use anymore. It's no good anymore. The people that you lead, if you do not have vision, will perish. You as a leader will perish without vision. The actual root of the word perish means to throw off constraint, to become rebellious. If there's no vision, people become rebellious. If there's no vision, people run in their own direction. As a leader, you don't want to mean that to your people. I can assure you of that. You want to bring them safely home, wherever that is. You want to walk tall before them and in front of them. And you want to lead them to a place where they need to go. Let me tell you a story coming from history. The Romans were a mighty force. And when they conquered another nation, everyone that's left in that nation, they would rank them in rows of people. And then they would let them march or walk through the city of the Romans that was closest to where the battle was. And they would rank them from the highest rank of that nation to the lowest rank. The left front spot was usually reserved for the king, because more often than not, the king always survived the war, because he didn't engage in the combat. So they would place the king here, and then whoever was second in charge that survived the war, next to the king, third, fourth, etc. And they would line them, and then the next line according to ranking. And then at the back, at the lowest point, you would find the poor and those people that didn't make it in society. And what they would do is to march these people through the towns. And they would spit on them, they would kick them, they would curse them, they would do all kinds of bad things to these people. And at one point in time, what they would do is to give the king a cup with deadly poison. And that king would drink a sip of that deadly poison and pass it on to the guy next to him, second in charge, whoever survived. And that king would not walk more than 5 steps before he drops dead. That's how deadly the poison was. And then the second guy would take his sip and pass it on to the next guy. And he would also die. And the third guy would take a sip and pass it on to the fourth guy. But he would also only make round about 5 steps before he dies. That chalice would do its round until the last drop was drank, and that guy too died. And then the rest of the people were set free. You can go home now. The war is over. You're free. In the rare occasion that there was a king, a leader, that really loved his people, what he would do is take that chalice and drink all the poison, so that the rest of his people could go free. That's the kind of leader you want to be. That's the kind of leader you would like to aspire to become, so that your people will be protected and feel safe. That your people will feel that we've got one that we follow, that will take everything on him for us, that will even drink the cup on our behalf. This is a very powerful picture, I think, of what a true leader is. Someone that's willing to drink the cup so that his people or her people could be set free. You have to have vision, otherwise your people will perish. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was eventually killed by Hitler, said the following: He said it's useless to move in the right direction on the train that travels in the wrong direction. It's important that you determine, define, and assess for yourself as a leader. What is your vision in life? What is your personal vision statement or your personal mission statement? What encapsulates in a sentence or two or three your life and the essence of who you are? Because you are born to make a contribution. Your life's not an experiment, people. Sir, madam, your life's not an experiment. You've got a purpose on this planet. And since you're in this position that you're in, part of that purpose is to be the leader that you are born to be.